Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Marketing 101 for chiropractors. This week we're going through AI, more specifically Chat GPT. I know many of you use Chat GPT. Some of you dabble in it, some of you barely use it, but you've all experienced Chat GPT for one reason or another. You may be using other AI models, but when we speak about AI, this is what we're meaning: automated prompts that are generated through a global intelligence panel that can predetermine what the responses are going to be based on the questions you ask it. That's what AI really is. They're like glorified apps. Apps just do things, right? If you look at applications, any apps on your phone, the calculator, the social media apps, they just go into the platforms that are built to do their thing. They don't really respond back to you. You go in there and you interact with those platforms. Some of them are actually web pages, some of them are just tools, some of them are the stock market. These are all considered applications, just a fancy way of saying web pages or web browsers, or there are actually other interfaces to it. So when you look at AI is different. AI is built on a constant information cycle where it's scraping the web that we've built for data, and everything is still surrounded around the web. I hope that confuses you more than ever before. Perfect, because I'm still confused about all of it. But ChatGPT, that's what this is all about today, and how to maximize its utilization in a chiropractic office. Skip all the fancy bells and whistles that you may have seen, and you have to go to AI seminars and all this stuff. BS. All you need to do is sit down and give it prompts that will help you become more efficient in your office. That's the best way to use AI. For me, social media posts have become very easy by doing this. You can use applications like uh, auto posting things like HubSpot and all these. I forget what we use in our office, but Socialize Simple, I think we use, and it's a monthly, $20 a month thing, and you can put all your social media pages on there: TikTok, your Facebook pages, your Instagram pages, your X pages, your LinkedIn. You do everything, and then just schedule out all the posts for 30 or 60 days. Pretty nice. And you can use videos, you can use pictures, you can use content. But this is where you can use AI to ChatGPT specifically to say, hey, create 30 prompts from our social media, both Instagram, Facebook, and X, of information about health and wellness, focusing on sleep, cortisol, and hormones. That's this month's topic, whatever you want to do for February, 30 days out. You get all the 30 posts in texts. You copy and paste them into HubSpot or, your socialized program. You put them all in there. X doesn't care for pictures, right? So you're just putting in the text, and Instagram and Facebook, you're just adding a picture or a video to each one of the prompts, and you're all set and done for the month, all in under an hour. That's how AI helps. So those of you that can't get a handle on your social media, there you go. You can turn off the podcast right now. You got your one big tip for the podcast. That's how to utilize it in its glory. I think most of them allow 60 days out now to post, but just if I'm familiar with Facebook, our team does it, but I still think it's 30 days out, or 30 posts that you can do outward. I think it's unlimited posts within 30 days. I think the time that you can spend in the future is 30 days. Just don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. So that's why I gave you the 30-day rule. What about blogs? Blog writing. Yes, you still got to do this. You should be writing 1, 2, 3, 4 blogs a month, honestly, to just keep feeding the Google bots on there to make sure that you're always up and ranking higher in your keywords, and you're always feeding it more and more keywords, so that anytime people search in your area for those trigger words, those keywords, those blog posts that you're writing, you've got content that the Google bots can scrape. That's really what you want to be doing there. How great is ChatGPT at that? It's absolutely fantastic. You type in a couple sentences, it writes out a blog. You literally copy and paste this and then just change some things in there. Remember, the things you want to replicate in your blog is your location, the doctor's name, and name. Repeat that in there. And of course, the keywords in there. So the title of the blogs, you'll see they're kind of silly. How chiropractic helps with sciatica in Tampa, Florida. Like, it's just you had all keywords in there, and just in the title. And then that's the redundancy of the blog as well. But once you tell ChatGPT, hey, write me a blog that is SEO heavy for these keywords that we want to rank higher for: sciatica, low back pain, chiropractor, Tampa, whatever you want to do, you put those all into there in the prompt, and now you get an SEO based blog, which is absolutely great. And yes, you can use them. They're just blogs. You're not selling it. It's not an ebook. It's not uh, resourceful information. It's nothing, just a blog that goes under your blog section. Perfectly fine to do that. Email campaigns. How great is that? You should be utilizing your email list all the time. But again, to sit there and write emails from scratch takes time. How do you make it simple? Hey, create me a 27 email nurture sequence for people that are coming through a funnel that I've created on my Facebook ads for specifically lumbar decompression, utilizing our spinal decompression table. Create 27 so that the people all that come into become a lead all get dropped into this nurture sequence. And over the course of the next 52 weeks, they will get 27 emails that I can space out after you create them for me, giving them education about spinal decompression, chiropractic, how they can become a new patient, how they can refer other people to our office, and what the experience may look like when they come in. Repeat those in 5 different ways to create 27 emails for me. Dude, guys, in like 3 minutes, you've got 27 emails. Like it's crazy. Like now you copy and paste them into your CRM or MailChimp or whatever you use, and now you got a nurture sequence. Pretty awesome ways to use this. And lastly, these are the 4 ways I utilize ChatGPT. So where these ideas came from, exactly how I use them. I thought about this yesterday. I was like, okay, how do I use ChatGPT and how do I create a podcast for my colleagues on how I utilize it? That way I can give them the best responses because that's how we use it. And then ad copying, because I do so many ads for so many chiropractic offices. Yes, I use ChatGPT for this. Yes, it makes the emojis easier. Yes, it lays it out a lot quicker than I can. And when you prompt it properly, it does great for this. Create an ad for cold laser therapy for Myrtle Beach Chiropractic. Myrtle Beach is located, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The population density in this area, scrub the internet for some information about there. You'll find that it's more in the 40 plus crowd. Tailor the ads for them about how class 4 laser can reduce inflammation and pain for not only joints, but everything else that you find it can be beneficial for, and create me an ad for Facebook ads offering a $99 consult at the office to try that and a chiropractic exam. Bada bing, bada boom. You like it? And let's say you're doing A/B testing. You hit the button again, say, create this again. Or you go in there and say, create this again, but make it a little bit more funny. Boop. And now you A/B test a professional ad copy versus a funny ad copy. If your team is funny and you guys do that, it kind of promotes what you guys are and who you are and gives a little flair to that. Some of them do really well. So that's great too. Many ways to use it. Done? Good? Great podcast? I got lots more for you here. Okay. That's how we use ChatGPT almost on a daily basis, definitely weekly basis, to create this content a lot faster. So that AI has already got a pat on the back for doing this stuff for us. But you can also take it up a level, which we've dabbled with some of these things, like automated responses on your bots that you want to use on either your website or your Facebook Messenger that automatically respond to questions. Hey, are you guys open on Saturday? You can use ChatGPT to create FAQs about chiropractic care, pricing in your office, and appointment scheduling, so your hours of operation. It will set the prompts and the answers to the most asked questions that they get by scrubbing the net and figuring out what are the top FAQ questions that chiropractors get on online chats. And you'll get a whole list of these. You can then prompt them into your social media. And there you go. Now you've got FAQ questions asked automatically through Meta's bot response system, or you can create a fancy bot for your website that answers the chats for you as well. How about scripts for your patient calls? Having new patient scripts, recall scripts, care plan cancellation scripts, wellness plan cancellation scripts. What does your team say when these conversations happen? Insurance, we're a cash-based office. Boy, we have like Brittany, our front desk, has just got like this amazing spiel when it comes to somebody's like, hey, do you take blank insurance? And we have to go through our entire spiel on why we or how we don't take it, but how we help everyone. And how great is that to just document, have a systems and procedures manual so that when somebody new comes in, they're like, hey, read chapter 2 on scripting. This is what we do for the 4 most common questions we get. And AI could have generated this for you so you can build a script and systems and procedures manual for your office. Finally, after 15 years of practice, you can actually have a legit one that you can save digitally and print or whatever you like. I would save it digitally. That way, in case any systems change, you can go in there and manually change those systems if you change EHR systems or whatever may happen in the future. Even now, Documentation. We're still be careful with HIPAA on this, but SOAP notes and documentation with AI is becoming pretty cool. They can draft and assist your patient notes um, just by talking into a microphone. That's pretty cool stuff. Procedure and training manuals we talked about, and patient education materials like develop handouts, like everything we do. Canva is almost considered AI right now because of just click like buttons that you can just push when you're in Canva. It can rewrite a prompt for you. It can rewrite a headline for you. It can rewrite the ad copy in there. It can rewrite your titles. It can change images for you. It can automatically adjust. That's AI power stuff that's used even within apps right now. So that's why I gave you that little spiel at the beginning about websites, apps, and AI. They're all internet. They're all how we live in the digital world. And they're just built on top of one another. So the internet is pretty much the World Wide Web that is built on, and then you build pages within that site so people can see the information on almost like a document type presentation, like a web page. It's like scrolling through a flyer, right? Then you got AI apps. Then you got apps that pretty much proliferate the web pages and their functions. So now you can create an app on your phone so you can click and go straight into that web page, that web system, just like you would go on a desktop and put in facebook.com and go in there. It's the exact same thing as on your app. You're accessing the web on an application type system. Then AI is one layer on top of that, which is like, okay, use me and I'll scrape all of this stuff that's on the World Wide Web and give you prompts and information and text and images and even videos that can help you speed through this. So they're still just programmed websites. That's what AI is. It's not robots taking over the world yet. Good. What about business growth and strategy there? Competitor analysis. Use ChatGPT to analyze competing chiropractic offices and marketing strategies as well. You can pretty much go straight into ChatGPT and be like, hey, I'm located right here. Tell me what everyone within a 20-mile radius is doing and what am I heavily competing against as far as modalities, demographics, and the people that they're targeting. Then the next prompt you'd ask is like, great, thank you for that information. Now, who do you think is the most underserved demographic or symptom-based people in this 15-mile radius around my clinic that I should probably start targeting? You'll be amazed at the information you get from this. And now you can open up a whole different niche and create. Yeah, I mean, there's so many great ways to use this and scrape data. You have access to data like never before. You can generate ideas for promotions, partnerships, and events. Some of you don't even have any workshops, events, always have something to invite people to every month. You don't have these things in there. You could prompt ChatGPT to say, hey, we've been in business for 15 years. We've been doing this, this, and this. Never really engaged our community. What are 3, 10, 5 best ways that I can engage my community based on how I practice in my business, whether I'm solo or associate? I like to work Monday through Thursday. I will not do anything on the weekends. I'm a golfer. You can feed it all that stuff, and it's going to analyze and be like, okay, weekends are off limit. Late nights are off limit because you have kids. These are some great ideas that you can do to engage your community in events. Instead of doing a workshop at your office, do a workshop at the local brewery that you're located 2.2 miles away from your office. It's amazing what it can do for you. Time management and productivity, optimize scheduling, workflows, and delegation of tasks. I use it all the time. I'm using it for emails a lot. I was in a mastermind last weekend with the adaptable entrepreneurs down in Naples, Florida, and this came up, ChatGPT. And I was like, wow, fascinated with it. So I'm asking ChatGPT some of the questions in there. The local panel, when you log into your own ChatGPT, that's called your local panel. ChatGPT is every time you ask it a question, it's putting it into its memory to help you, just you, the user that's registered, that's logging in with future answers so that they can be a lot cleaner. You'll notice when you first get into ChatGPT, you get these very generalized answers. Now that I've been using it for almost 2 years, it pretty much the answers are really good because now it knows what I'm looking for. So it's good to me. The global panel, you have no control over. The global panel is something that ChatGPT is scraping all the time, and it requires the AI people there at ChatGPT to orchestrate it and then create an update on it. So that one, at the mastermind, they were saying, how you can influence this. And ChatGPT says you can't. It's saying, well, we just scrape data from the internet, not something that you give us specifically, but by putting content out there, having your websites, having your profiles, having your social media, and always constantly updating content, it's going to scrape that. It's giving you like a side saying, listen, whatever you tell me, I'm only going to take as a grain of salt, but everything else I scrape from there. If I can reconfirm the things that you say, then yeah, then you will be able to influence me through content, not directly. So just two things there that I found interesting. But the greatest point from that mastermind was, listen, the last update for ChatGPT was September 2021. If you weren't in ChatGPT or doing anything, it doesn't really know who you are until the most recent update, which was November 2023. November 2023. Some people were finding June 2024. I don't know. I can't find that. I don't know where June 2024 came from, but November 2023. So if you never used ChatGPT between September 2021 and November 2023, you're still irrelevant on ChatGPT, because now when you go in there today in February 2025, it doesn't know you because you weren't there in October in 2023. Does that make sense? So you got to start using it. You got to start doing things in it to influence yourself, your business, mainly your business in there. So when the next update comes up, you're in the game a little bit. You see what I'm saying? As a business. So yes, it's scraping data off the internet. Yes, creating content all the time is good. Yes, your social media profiles have been feeding it because it's scraping the World Wide Web. Remember that. There you go. And its competitor, DeepSeek, just boom, overnight, number one downloaded app in the world. Some problems with that. I think, my parents are European. I grew up in Canada. I'm here in the US. I don't feel, I'm not a world traveler. I don't have like that. I grew up in Egypt. I traded in Saudi Arabia. I lived in Australia, taught a professor. I was a professor in South Africa, and now live in Denmark. Like I don't have that kind of a worldly living experience because it's mostly Western, Europe, Canada, America. So I'm still biased when it comes to this. But when we talk about China, we've been in a war with China since 2013, literally economic and tech war with them, just like the Cold War back then. I think our parents went through that. This is it for us in our generation, this tech war that we're in with not just China, everyone. The race to the top, because that's going to be the next economic world leader, is the AI boom that's happening right now underneath our toes. So when we talk about ChatGPT and its competitors, DeepSeek is Chinese based. They claim they did this for $6 million overnight. They created an AI and how easy it is and how stupid ChatGPT is, and took them forever. And they built $50 billion of resources, and they can do it overnight. I'm not playing with it too much because I just don't want it on my applications. As soon as you start playing with it, it can read your emails, it can scrape your data within seconds. And then it's Chinese, right? So I'm biased, of course, growing up in the Western world, I feel like the threat is China. I'm sure if you live in China, it's like, no, the threat's America. I'm sure it's just like the Cold War back then. If you were in Russia, the Americans were the bad guys. If you're in America, the Russians were the bad guys. I think that's where we're in right now. So I feel bad not trusting the other side. But, this stuff, there's some merit to it, whether you go down the conspiracy route or you just go down the logical route. Feeding the information to them sounds a little sketchy. I mean, ChatGPT could be doing this, ChatGPT, and the American stuff could be scraping it. America scraping Americans' data. Sure. World data. Fine. But either way, it's the race to the top. Who do you support? Be careful when you're doing this. If at the end of the day, you're like, okay, worst scenario, I worked with ChatGPT. Now they are at the top. They are the world leaders. Elon Musk is the world leader. I mean, I think we're safer that way than Xing Bong Bing Bong in China becoming the world leader. Then we're then we don't know what's going to happen out there. So I don't know if that person exists. I kind of made that up, and I apologize. But that's my 2 cents on DeepSeek. That's it. Go out there and try. You got to utilize it. It makes your life so much easier. Dabble with it a little bit more. Use those tips I gave you today about just even blogs and emails and creating a training manual for your office. You're gonna reap the benefits from it and how fast you can get things done. Makes you way more efficient. You wonder how I do this? 2 podcasts, running the office, associates, satellite clinic, 3 kids. I've been utilizing AI, and that's how I've been keeping on top of it, not burning out. Many people burn out running podcasts and they quit and they stop. But doing all this stuff, I'm finding time because the time's shorter now. Instead of taking me 3 hours to publish and post and do everything, I can get stuff done in under an hour and get a bunch of podcasts lined up so that I'm always ahead of the curve. Right? Have a great week. Stay well, stay healthy, and keep doing what you do.